Hi, this is going to be an energy reading around the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde, Texas, which happened May 24th, 2022. So there was 21 murdered victims, 2 teachers, and 19 children. There was also another school shooting in Texas at Santa Fe High School in Santa Fe, Texas, May 18th, 2018. That school shooting killed 10, injured 13. 4 years later, almost to the day, this elementary school, Robb Elementary School, became our second Sandy Hook Elementary School, which was in Newtown, Connecticut. That happened December 14th, 2012. There was 26 victims then, 20 children, 6 teachers. Nothing has changed. That's the point. And you don't have to be a psychic to predict it, but we all know this will happen again. And we know that both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans, will not do anything about it. Actually, they went on vacation. It's Memorial Day weekend, and they went to enjoy time in their yachts and vacation homes with their families and with their children. Well, so many are left grieving. Not only these 2 school shootings in Texas, but the Buffalo shooting in New York at a grocery store that left 10 people dead. The shooting at a church in the Asian community in California. These have all happened within the last 2 weeks. We hear about it so often that it just becomes part of every, day news reports. There's constantly a shooting. This shooting at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, has really touched everyone around the world. The energy around this is so heavy. And the timing, what we're going through, when we look at the astrology and the energy and the planets and the stars and the sky, we see things are coming to light. And I wanted to do this reading. I needed to speak about this to point out that the energy is changing. There is hope. There is healing. And we need to be honest with ourselves and each other about what is really going on in our country. 21 victims murdered. And I'm not going to talk about this guy and this 18-year-old, and that's not the focus. We need to never speak these shooters' names ever again, but we need to completely always remember these kids and these teachers and do something about it. The politicians, the Democrats and the Republicans are both lying to you. Greg Abbott is the governor of Texas. $600 million was given towards hardening schools, which is supposed to be security on schools, when the Santa Fe shooting happened in 2018. Here we are in 2022, as I said, almost to the day, with the elementary school. Twice as many people have died when $600 million of taxpayers' money from Texas was dedicated to, supposedly making security for the school better. What happened to that $600 million? If you're in Texas, whether you have children or not, whether you think this personally affects you or not, as a taxpayer, as someone who lives there, you should be asking what your people in charge are doing with this $600 million, because they're sure not protecting your kids at public schools. Let's be honest, the money went to corporate donors, and the money went to Greg Abbott's pockets and all the other people's pockets. Let's be realistic here. In 2020, Greg Abbott signed 7 gun laws, making guns legal and accessible to anyone 18 and over in the state of Texas. You know, very few restrictions. In 2020, the power grid fell in Texas, and many Texas citizens were, killed because of it. They froze to death. Texas also, in 2020, Greg Abbott cut $200 million for mental health care. And they love to say this is a mental health crisis, but he cut $200 million for mental health care. They have since, in 2022, made some of the most just strictest abortion laws. No exceptions for rape and incest. They're coming for your birth control next. Realize that. These Republicans want to say that they're pro-life, and they just want to control women's bodies. They're not pro-life, they're anti-woman. We're living under religious rule. This is American Taliban. You call it religion, I call it a sexist cult. This is ridiculous. Complete hypocrites. All those Christians out there, I don't know if you've ever really read this Bible. But there's not a lot of women's rights in this Bible. It's all about greed. It's all about money. It's all about power. But here's the thing, it doesn't personally affect them. Their kids go to private schools. They live in private communities. And the Democrats are no better. They claim to be pro-choice, but they protect no choice. They protect no rights. We've lost all our rights under them. We've gained nothing. Democrats have the same agenda, the same donors, and the same policies. They want the same shit. And they just lie about it. Complete liars. They have the House, they have the Senate, they have the presidency, and they're getting nothing done because of bullshit like filibusters, parliamentarians. Doesn't matter because they own the Supreme Court at the end of the day. Supreme Court justices have been bought and paid for. Everything we want will be blocked and overturned or overruled. It won't matter. Women's rights was just the beginning. And I don't care what your religious beliefs are, you're entitled to those. I grew up in the church. I know all the reasons, all the arguments. That's fine. You don't believe in abortions, don't have one. You have no right to push your religious beliefs on everyone else. Everyone has a right to make a decision for themselves. And this was just the beginning. They're already passing laws in the Supreme Court to make concealed carry legal in every state. It's not going to matter anymore who you put in as your state representatives when they rule it all and they own the Supreme Court. And federal law is going to always not matter, be more important than state law. They're passing laws to ban new evidence, to overturn criminal cases and death row cases. So if you're guilty, don't get, caught up in a case. They say you're guilty, you're guilty. They're not going to let you bring in new evidence. Doesn't matter anymore. It's a corrupt system. They are opening these doors, and with the Supreme Court being ruled by these people, they're coming for all your rights. Your birth control, your marriages, your gay marriage, your interracial marriage. It's going to be a battle of state laws versus federal law, and we're going to lose because it's a corrupt system, and that corrupt system is supporting corrupt police departments. Both the Democrats and the Republicans are going to protect these corrupt police departments over and over again. These cops waited outside for over an hour while this person went into this elementary school and massacred these teachers and these children. In the meantime, they detained and pepper sprayed and handcuffed parents that were trying to get into the school because the cops sure weren't doing it. Again, I'm going to bring it right back to what I said in the beginning. Where's that funding? Where's that $600 million that was supposed to secure these schools? It's corruption, and I hope that these families sue these people. And that's what we're actually funding at the end of the day. What we are funding are all these lawsuits that these police departments are going to have to pay out over and over again. But as long as there is no, qualified immunity still exists for all these cops, guess who's really paying it? It goes back to you taxpayers. So again, citizens of Texas, even if you don't have kids, even if you think this doesn't, personally affect you, it really does, because you've already paid $600 million. And here you're going to have to pay out lawsuit after lawsuit for every time these cops do what they do. And they can't go into the school and save a bunch of people, but they can shoot unarmed people, right? It's all part of the agenda, though. They're controlling your wages. You can't even get $15 minimum wage. Even business owners out there are having supply issues, work issues, employment issues, you name it. It's affecting everyone. And some people are out there just being corporate slaves, working 50, 70 hours a week, working your life away. And it's just Amazon and Tesla and all these places, and it's like, get into the factory jobs or whatever, but you're always struggling because there's no health care. And, there's funeral debt, and there's healthcare debt, and there's insurance fraud. They're screwing us over. Drug prices. There's a housing crisis. There's student loan debts. There's corporate price gouging. And no matter who you are, no matter what you do, it all is affecting you in one way or another. And some people, all of these ways are affecting them. Either way, it's corrupt. It's this capitalist system. The politicians are bought. The media is bought. We're living in a world where the Supreme Court is bought under their religious rule. We're living under religious rule. Corporate greed. It's all about money, greed, and power. But understand that these public school shootings are all part of the agenda to push public school closures. Everything that they've come for, everything that I've listed, now they're coming for your schools. They're not coming for your guns. Understand that. They're coming for your schools now. And this kind of shit happening is going to be their push for private schools. But it's just more of the same. It's more of the same hustle, just like that $600 million they put up for school security to harden schools. And twice as many babies died, were massacred. And we need to understand that these kids were massacred. You can't afford private schools, your kid's not going to go to school. And they're going to tell you about this voucher program when they push this agenda, because that's what's coming out of these school shootings. Mark my words, it is an agenda to take away your public schools. They don't want your kids educated anymore. It's going beyond just taking the books out. These voucher programs will fail. Children will be left behind in education, just like they're left behind in housing and health and every other need and protection that they need, because we're sitting here talking about 19 kids that were massacred at school. And politicians who went on vacation. Now, there's always the hope and the prayers and the healing that come in. Because as I said, this evil will be exposed. We are in the age of Aquarius. People acting and uprising. More awareness. And more warriors willing to fight. And the Pluto return brings in that shakeup to the systems, to the cores of who we are, and to the core of what this country is. And the karma. Keep your karma clear. Everyone pick a side and do what you can. Don't let this go unnoticed. Be aware and know what they're doing. Something's got to give. As I've said in past readings, the energy is like a pressure cooker. It's like a pressure cooker of evil that is about to explode. One of these days, somebody is going to lose their mind. One of these parents is going to lose it. It's like coming to a neighborhood near you, family member friend child It's ridiculous. Everyone's getting affected by it, and the energy is so heavy on a worldwide level. And everyone is or will be personally affected by all of these issues. Some way, everyone's affected. But at the end of the day, good is gonna conquer the evil. Enough is enough, and this is the time. Something has to change, and it has to balance, and God and the universe will change it. Exposure and lies will be revealed, and new laws will be passed. These children and these teachers didn't die in vain. And let's just take a moment to recognize the first responders that really make a difference in this country. And I'm not talking about the cops, I'm talking about the hospital workers, the doctors, the nurses, the surgeons, who have totally reevaluate their hospitals and their systems and their protocols, and what they do to now save lives is amazing. The coroner's office. Let's talk about the coroner's office, who, you could never imagine what these people see. And these babies could not be identified. They had to take DNA samples because they were massacred. What an AR-15 assault rifle does to grown men, to grown adults, is ridiculous. People that have survived gunshots. We're talking about children. They couldn't even be identified without DNA from their parents, and the coroners, and what they did in such a short amount of time, and the funeral homes in the community who are not charging these families. There's our hope. That is what we need to focus on, because the majority of us want this to end, and we want things to change. And there is hope. we are going to do some tarot cards. See what the energies are around the Robb Elementary. Six of Cups. Memory. Friendship. Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. Energy. I believe there's new beginnings. I believe laws will change. I believe things are going to be exposed. People are going to speak out. The energy is so strong around this, along with all the other things that we as a country have been going through. Accountability has to come through one way or another. And the people want this. Wow, well, what do we have here? We have to move this out of the way a little bit. Tower in the past. Something shocking. Absolutely. Tower came down. Here in the present, well, looks like 10 Pentacles. So it's all about money. It's all about that commitment. Here in the future, well, we have the High Priestess. Here come those secrets. Here comes the Virgin Mary. And she continues to come through. She's the main reason I felt I needed to speak on this, so I love seeing that. Travel. Six of Swords, traveling forward, crossing over to the other side. And I do believe that these children were with her as soon as they crossed over. Mary, the Mother of God, there to embrace these children as they crossed over on the other side. This tower in the past, this shocking revelation, could not believe it. Right? We know the story. We know what happened there. So much slow growth and planning with the Seven of Pentacles, supposedly, right? They put all that money into planning, right? Queen of Swords comes through. Air energy comes through here with the Queen of Swords. It's all about cutting out truth, forward movement with her, intuition, transformation. Gemini energy, we are in Gemini season. Mental anxiety here, lots of Eight of Swords energy, feeling trapped, not knowing what to do. It's kind of the energy on a whole there for sure. Lots of messages here. The Page of Wands, messages coming through. As we know, those parents definitely were trying to get into school, couldn't get into school. All of that information is coming forward. All about the money, though, here with the Ten of Pentacles. And I made this video really focusing on that. Come on, Texas, and what's going on? Where's all this money going? What are all these politicians doing with all this money? But it also, commitment, family here, commitment. People are committed with the Ten of Pentacles, family, community. Community's not giving up on this. Six of Cups comes back. Remember, it was falling out before? And we're talking about that friendship, nostalgia, people from the past. Six of Cups, commitment, family, friendship, celebrations, reunions. Three of Cups, bringing people together. Yeah, it's definitely doing that, and we need that, and we gotta keep that, and we gotta focus on that. Because here's the devil. All about that greed. That greed, that greed, that corruption, that evil. Right there. Possession. Well, we know the shooter was definitely crazy. We're talking about possession, but we're also talking about greed and evil and possession. And as I was saying, it doesn't affect their life now, does it? They're just fine in their yachts and in their gated communities and with their kids in private school, right? Unknown card. Telling you, someone's gonna flip. It's ridiculous. I can imagine what these poor people are going through. These poor parents. All because of their greed and corruption. Follow the money. And here comes the offers. Page of Cups, the small offers, the apologies. Mothering energy here, earth energy, Queen of Pentacles comes in. Ugh, all the mothers. I feel for all the mothers. And they're offered these, apologies, thoughts and prayers. Yeah, thanks a lot. In the future, High Priestess. Virgin Mary energy. Secrets are revealed. Use your intuition. As I said, I really believe these children were met by her. I see her and some dogs and animals just meeting these babies on the other side. The minute their guardian angels just take them out and guide them over. She's there. She's there to meet them. The Mother of God. King of Wands comes through. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, strength comes through. Leo energy comes through. This could be a lawmaker. I'm not sure what Beto O'Rourke was, but he went and caused a scene there at their little meeting. Greg Abbott and stuff's meeting. He might be that fiery King of Wands coming in, revealing some secrets here. I don't know what his birthday is. Look at this, a King of Pentacles too. Earth sign energy. Now I'm getting all these kings coming through. This is about contracts. Two kings. Secrets revealed with the Virgin Mary. Two kings coming through. Contracts. Wish fulfillment with the Nine of Cups. Some kind of celebration, some kind of wish fulfillment. Empress energy on the bottom, more mother energy, giving birth to something new. As I was saying, I think things will change this time around. Absolutely. Wish fulfillment with the Nine of Cups, two kings coming together. Contracts, secrets revealed, use your intuition. Pisces energy. Ooh, they come in quick. The Knight of Swords, or some kind of ally, friend. It's okay, we got to do something quick. Yeah, something comes in quick, but it has that wish fulfillment there. Thank God. We need it. Crossing over with that Eight of Cups. Looking for more, seeking, leaving the past behind, and also crossing over. I see that when people go on the other side. That Eight of Cups, seeking more. Family members will be seeking more. Children didn't die in vain. Soulmate energy, juggling. Comes out mother energy again. Queen of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles can represent juggling, soulmate energy also, though, where it's like two just constantly in rotation. Wow. Mother energy with the Queen of Pentacles. Mother energy, you're moving forward, wish fulfillment. These two kings in this night might bring us in some good news. I do believe the laws will change. I want to talk about the victims. They are the ones that really matter. And the teacher that lost her life was Eva Morales. She was a teacher for 17 years, an amazing cook, a great mom. She loved karaoke, TikTok, and hiking. Irma Garcia was a teacher. She was 2019 finalist for Trinity University Prize of Excellence in Teaching. She was married 24 years. She's the mother of 4. Her husband, Joe Garcia, collapsed and died Thursday, 2 days after the shooting, while preparing Irma's funeral. They were married 24 years. Joe loved to barbecue for his family. Uzziah Garcia, 10 years old, he was a football player. Played in San Angelo with his grandfather during spring break. Recently, I used to have a little boy that loved to play football myself. Xavier Lopez, 10 years old, was honored at a ceremony recently with his mother there just hours before the shooting. Amara Garraza, 9 years old, was also on the honor roll. 2 days ago, she got her certificate. Murray tried to call 911. The shooter shot her in front of her best friend. Her best friend survived, but was covered in Arami's blood. Joseph Flores Jr., 10 years old, was also on the honor roll. I'm sorry, Jose. I said Joseph. His name was Jose. Alethea Ramirez, 10 years old, just celebrated her 10th birthday with her family, and her balloon bouquet was still in her bedroom. Annabelle Rodriguez, 10 years old, and her cousin Jacqueline Carraza were murdered together. Alejandra Cruz Torres, 10 years old, she was a softball player. Her older brother was a basketball player, and she looked up to him. Rogelio Torres, 10 years old. His mother says he was a smart and loving child. Jacqueline Carrazas, 10 years old, just made her first Holy Communion this Easter. Jacqueline's father was the first to tell the media about how unprepared the police were. Jala Serrero and Jace Carmio were cousins that were murdered together. Lexi Rubio, 10 years old, also an honor roll student, and she recently received the Good Citizens Award. Tess Mata, 10 years old, loved TikTok and softball. And she had a contagious laugh, her family says. McKenna Lee Elrod was 9 years old. Family says she had the biggest heart and her smile lit up the room. Nevaeh Bravo was 10 years old. And grandmother said was at the prayer visual with her photo on Wednesday. Layla Salazar, 11 years old. She loved to swim, dance, TikTok, and she was a runner. She won 6 races recently at a field day. Her father also said that she loved Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. I like that. I'm a rocker. Mayetta Rodriguez, 10 years old, was an honor roll student, and she wanted to be a marine biologist. Miranda Mathis is 10 years old. Her family had been searching for her for hours after the shooting before they were finally able to identify her. Elania Ali Garcia was 9 years old, cheerleader. She was looking forward to her 10th birthday, June 4th, and she was making plans to do a reading of a scripture in church on Sunday. We must remember all these children. I'm sorry for getting so choked up. I think we need to know them personally, know their stories, connect with them personally, and do whatever we can in our community and just be aware. And Ellie was going to read the scripture on Sunday, and it was from Deuteronomy, and it is 6:18, and it says, "Do what is right and good in the Lord's sight, so that it may go with you." And that's such a beautiful message, and I think we should remember that for this whole tragedy. We still got to do what's right, and we got to do what's good. And the Lord is with us, and He is with these children, and they went straight into the arms of Mary, the Mother of God. Please pray for all these families. Please donate if you can. Please vote. Please call your local officials. Change these laws. I'm not saying take guns away. You guys know I'm a country girl. But we have to have some kind of accountability, and we have to have some kind of rules and regulations, and this has to stop. And at the end of the day, we all want that. So let's stop focusing on what divides us and start focusing on what makes us all the same. And we want all the same things. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.